stop right there, because Forrester Creations is about to turn into a battlefield, and this time, the fight is not just about power, it's personal. The elevator doors slide open, Ridge steps out, and before he can even speak, Steffy already knows why he's there. She sees it written all over his face, the hesitation, the guilt, the weak little pause before the conversation even starts. Brooke wants her position, and Ridge can barely bring himself to say the words out loud. But Steffy is not about to stand there and be treated like some temporary obstacle. She doesn't need a polished speech. She doesn't need another lecture about family unity or doing what's best for the company. One look at Ridge tells her everything she needs to know. This was planned. Maybe not openly, maybe not aggressively, but planned all the same. Wrapped up in romance, hidden behind old memories, covered in all that destiny nonsense Brooke always leans on whenever she wants something. But underneath all of it, this was still an attempt to push Steffy out of the driver's seat, and Steffy feels every second of it. Ridge tries to soften the blow. He talks about Brooke's vision for the company. He talks about partnership. He talks about Brooke wanting to stand beside him at the top of Forrester Creations. But Steffy hears the truth underneath every carefully chosen word. Brooke wants control. The second that realization lands, Steffy shuts the conversation down hard. If Brooke thought she was about to stroll back into the executive office and reclaim some throne she believes belongs to her, she's in for a brutal wake-up call. Because Steffy Forrester is not stepping aside quietly. Not this time. And honestly, what makes the entire situation even worse is the growing suspicion already building in Steffy's mind. Hope. Steffy may not have proof yet, but her instincts are screaming that hope is connected to this somehow. Brooke didn't suddenly wake up one morning desperate for Steffy's position. Somebody encouraged this. Somebody fed the idea and kept pushing until Brooke believed it was her right. And Steffy is starting to believe that somebody was Hope Logan. If she's right, then this stops being a business disagreement and turns into something much uglier. Because once Hope gets involved, things never stay simple inside that family. Meanwhile, across town, Brooke is sitting there completely convinced she's already won. In her mind, Ridge was supposed to walk into Forrester Creations, talk to Steffy, and come back with a victory. Simple as that. After all the emotional conversations, all the reminders about their history, all the romantic pressure she's been putting on Ridge lately, Brooke truly believed this was finally her moment. She already pictured herself back at the top beside Ridge, permanent, official, untouchable. But Ridge didn't exactly march into that office looking confident. He looked nervous, like a man walking into a trap he didn't want to trigger, and Steffy noticed every bit of it. Instead of surrendering her authority, Steffy completely flipped the situation around. Rather than giving Brooke real power inside the company, she offered her something else entirely. A role that sounds glamorous on paper. A role that keeps Brooke visible. A role that lets her smile for cameras, represent the brand, travel around the world, and act as the public face of Forrester Creations. But make no mistake, it's not real control. While Brooke handles appearances, Steffy would still remain exactly where she believes she belongs, running the company behind the scenes, making the decisions, protecting the profits, and keeping Forrester stable. To outsiders, the offer might sound generous. To Brooke, it could sound humiliating. Because this was never really about titles or publicity. Brooke doesn't just want visibility, she wants authority. She wants to stand beside Ridge as an equal in a way that feels permanent and undeniable. And Brooke Logan is not known for quietly settling when she believes something bigger should belong to her. That's why this situation could explode very quickly. The second Brooke hears Steffy refuse to move, there's a strong chance she pushes even harder. She could go directly to Eric. She could try to force a larger family discussion. She could even push for a vote that changes the company structure completely. And if that happens, Hope will almost certainly be standing right beside her mother, encouraging the fight and insisting the Logans deserve more power inside the company. That's exactly the scenario Steffy is preparing for. Because if Hope really helped orchestrate this entire situation, Steffy is not going to let it slide quietly. And this is where things could become truly dangerous for Hope Logan. Hope may try to frame this whole situation as fairness, respect, equality between the Forresters and the Logans. But if Steffy confirms that Hope was secretly pushing Brooke toward this power move from the very beginning, then Hope could be walking straight into a disaster she never saw coming. Because Steffi's patience is hanging by a thread. She's already dealt with years of emotional pressure, manipulation, family drama, divided loyalties, and constant interference inside the company. Every personal conflict somehow finds its way back into Forrester Creations, and Steffy is exhausted by it. So if she decides Hope crossed the line again, she may not stop with a warning. She may go much further. And history has already proven Steffy is capable of making ruthless decisions when she believes the company is under attack. That means Hope's future at Forrester Creations could suddenly become very uncertain. Because if Steffy reaches the conclusion that Hope manipulated Brooke into making this move as part of a larger strategy to gain leverage for Hope for the future, then Steffy may decide enough is enough once and for all. And if that happens, Hope could find herself thrown out of the company completely. Not sidelined, not warned, gone. That's why this moment matters so much. On the surface, it may look like Brooke simply trying to climb higher inside the company. But underneath it all, this could actually be the moment Steffy finally realizes Hope has been working behind the scenes the entire time. And once that realization fully clicks into place, somebody is going to pay the price. Because Steffy no longer looks defensive, she looks ready for war.